So Kelsey Mitchell obviously did her exit interview. Everyone's done their exit interviews with the Indiana Fever. Everyone has done them. And this exit interview has quite a few fans worried. In my opinion, I would not be worried when it comes to Kelsey Mitchell. Because if Kelsey Mitchell wants to be in Indiana, Kelsey Mitchell be in Indiana.
When a team's championship dream ends in an overtime heartbreak and they wake up to find their roster nearly wiped out, what happens next? That's the harsh new reality facing the Indiana Fever heading into 2026. Their remarkable season came to a screeching halt after a crushing Game 5 loss in the WNBA semifinals. Now, the attention has shifted from on-court battles to front office decisions. A major league-wide concern is hanging over every franchise, as the ongoing collective bargaining negotiations could result in nearly every veteran player in the WNBA becoming a free agent.
This is the current 2025 Indiana Fever roster. Now, do I believe their roster will remain the same for the next coming months? No. Certain players will be leaving this basketball team, but I believe some big names is going to leave this team this year, and we're going to be very surprised who leaves.
This isn't just a simple roster change, it's a complete overhaul for the Fever. The team that was only moments away from the finals technically no longer exists. At present, just 3 players remain under contract for the 2026 season. Everyone else's future is uncertain. So, let's go through each situation and see who could still be wearing a Fever jersey next year. The first and most obvious name is Caitlin Clark. She's one of the 3 players guaranteed a roster spot, entering the 3rd year of her rookie deal worth $85,873. Despite being among the league's biggest stars, her 2025 season was frustrating due to multiple injuries that limited her to only 13 games, a huge setback for a team that depends heavily on her. When healthy, she was outstanding, averaging 16.5 points, 5.0 rebounds, and an impressive 8.8 assists per game. The Fever front office will also need to decide on her future beyond 2026 by exercising the team option for her 2027 rookie contract year, which would lock her in for $97,582. Considering her role as the franchise cornerstone, that will likely be the easiest decision of the offseason. The second player already secured for 2026 is the team's powerhouse in the paint, Aaliyah Boston. She's another cornerstone piece, and the Fever have already exercised her team option for the final year of her rookie deal. Unlike Clark, Boston had a healthy, dominant 2025 campaign, possibly her best yet. Her play was so strong that she made a legitimate case for all WNBA honors, showcasing her dominance on both ends of the court. She averaged 15 points, 8.2 rebounds, and 3.7 assists, earning her 3rd straight All-Star selection and confirming her spot among the league's elite bigs. Her offseason will be just as busy, as she's set to compete in the new unrivaled league and take on a media role as a Big Ten analyst for NBC and Peacock. For 2026, she'll earn $94,740 from her guaranteed deal. The third and final player under contract is Mikayla Timpson, the team's 19th overall pick in the 2025 WNBA draft. She accomplished what many rookies can't, staying on the roster all season. Timpson's playing time varied throughout the year as she adjusted to the pro game, but she stepped up in the playoffs when Damiris Dantas was sidelined with a concussion. She seized the opportunity and delivered strong performances. During the regular season, she averaged 2.6 points and 1.8 rebounds in about 7 minutes per game. Like many young prospects, she won't be taking the offseason off. She's scheduled to play overseas in Turkey to continue developing her skills.
A lot of these women go overseas to play for more money. I believe they make more money overseas than they make over here. So I will be kind of reacting to different players going overseas that is playing for the Indiana Fever. Now, Mikayla Timpson is the first one to go. Now, we do know Kelsey Mitchell actually played overseas last year, and I believe she got hurt too going over there. She hurt her finger or something.
In 2026, she'll enter the 2nd year of her rookie deal, earning a salary of $70,653. Now we move from the certainties to the question marks, and this is where things start to get tricky. After completing all 4 years of her rookie contract with the Fever, Lexie Hull will enter the 2026 league year as a restricted free agent. This is a very specific classification that only applies to players with exactly 4 years of WNBA service. For the Fever to maintain her rights, they must extend what's known as a restricted qualifying offer. If they do, Hull can still communicate with and receive offers from other teams, but Indiana holds the final say. They possess the right of first refusal, meaning the Fever can match any deal she signs elsewhere, and she would be required to stay. This rule gives the home team a major advantage in negotiations. In 2025, Hull earned $88,261 in the final year of her rookie deal and proved her worth to the team, particularly in the final stretch of the season. After Sophie Cunningham suffered an injury in August, Hull stepped into the starting lineup full-time and played a critical role in the Fever's playoff run, even fighting through a back injury to remain on the court. She averaged 7.2 points and 4.3 rebounds per game, showcasing her toughness and dependability as a wing. Next up is the team's offensive engine and a finalist for the league's MVP award, Kelsey Mitchell. She heads into the offseason as an unrestricted free agent, meaning she's free to sign with any team. However, the Fever have a significant bargaining chip, the core designation. Assuming the rules remain unchanged under the new collective bargaining agreement, Indiana can use the core tag on Mitchell for the second and final time, granting them exclusive negotiating rights. In return, they must offer her a supermax salary, the highest allowed in the league. Mitchell was the heart and soul of the Fever this past season, especially as injuries piled up. She became the first player in franchise history to average over 20 points per game, finishing with an impressive 20.2 average. In 2025, she played under a core qualifying offer worth $249,244, plus a $20,000 time-off bonus. Even so, if the Fever tag her again, it doesn't completely guarantee she'll stay. Players like Alyssa Thomas and Satu Sabali managed to secure trades after being cored by their teams before the 2025 season. Still, all indications suggest Mitchell intends to remain in Indiana, as she's repeatedly praised head coach Stephanie White and her overall experience with the franchise. The Fever roster also featured one of the league's most unique stories in Chloe Bibby, a 27-year-old rookie who joined mid-season. She first signed a 7-day contract on July 25th, and after impressing the coaching staff, earned a rest-of-season deal on August 1st. Bibby rotated in and out of the lineup for about a month before her year abruptly ended when she injured her knee during pre-game warm-ups on August 22nd. She was officially ruled out in early September. Across 9 games, she averaged 3.9 points and 1.2 rebounds. Because Bibby has fewer than 3 years of league service, she'll enter free agency as a reserve free agent, a category heavily favoring the team. The Fever can offer her a reserve qualifying contract, which is a 1-year, non-guaranteed deal for the league minimum salary. If extended, Bibby wouldn't be able to negotiate with other franchises, though she could still seek a small raise from Indiana directly. Finally, one of the team's key veterans was Natasha Howard, a 12-year WNBA veteran who signed a 1-year max contract worth $214,466 for the 2025 season. She started every game for the Fever, though her minutes varied depending on matchups and defensive needs. Partnering with Aaliyah Boston in the frontcourt, Howard averaged 11.4 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 1.5 assists per game. Her value extended far beyond the stat sheet, as both coaches and teammates consistently credited her for her leadership, composure, and experience throughout the season. Now, she enters the 2026 league year as an unrestricted free agent. Unlike Kelsey Mitchell, the Fever can't use the core designation on Natasha Howard since she has already exhausted all of her eligible core years. This means she's completely free to sign with any team, leaving the Fever to compete on the open market if they hope to re-sign her. Another key player with an uncertain future is Sophie Cunningham. She arrived in Indiana via trade after previously signing a 1-year contract extension with the Phoenix Mercury for the 2025 season, a deal worth $100,000. Unfortunately, her first year with the Fever was marred by injuries. She began the season nursing an ankle issue, and later suffered a torn MCL on August 17th that ended her season and ruled her out of the playoffs. Despite those setbacks, Cunningham appeared in 30 games, making 13 starts, and averaged 8.6 points and 3.5 rebounds. Like Howard, she heads into 2026 as an unrestricted free agent, giving her the freedom to explore all potential opportunities. The Fever's backup center, Damiris Dantas, is also reaching the end of her deal. She just completed the second year of a 2-year contract worth $100,000 in 2025, serving as Aaliyah Boston's primary backup for the past 2 seasons and providing critical minutes off the bench. Unfortunately, her season ended early after suffering a concussion on September 11th that kept her out of the entire playoff run. She also missed 6 games in late June and early July while representing Brazil in the AmeriCup tournament. Dantas will now enter free agency as an unrestricted player, adding another important name to the long list of decisions facing the Fever front office. Injuries also struck the Fever's backcourt, creating more uncertainty around Sydney Colson. Signed on a 1-year, $90,000 deal to provide depth behind Caitlin Clark and veteran leadership for a young roster, Colson briefly started while Clark was sidelined with an injury before returning to her reserve role after the team added Ari McDonald. Colson played 30 games, starting 6, before suffering a devastating ACL tear on August 7th that ended her season. She averaged 2.4 points and 2.0 assists per game. Coulson will be an unrestricted free agent this offseason, but her recovery timeline from the ACL tear could keep her sidelined for most, or potentially all, of the 2026 season, complicating her free agency outlook. Meanwhile, Ari McDonald's path with the Fever was one of the most unpredictable stories of the year. Her journey began with a hardship contract and ended with a rest-of-season deal. She initially signed with Indiana on June 1st under an emergency hardship exception when both Clark and Cunningham were injured. However, after just 3 games, she was released on June 13th once both players returned, as league rules no longer allowed the hardship designation. Still, the team had been impressed with her performance and re-signed her on June 25th to a standard rest-of-season contract. In another cruel twist of fate, McDonald suffered a broken bone in her right foot on August 7th, the same day as Coulson's ACL injury, forcing her to miss the remainder of the season as well. In the games she did play, Ari McDonald was an energetic and dynamic scorer, averaging 9.8 points and 2.4 assists per contest. McDonald now enters the offseason as an unrestricted free agent. With the team's point guard rotation decimated by injuries, the Fever were forced to find immediate reinforcements, leading to the arrival of Odyssey Sims. She joined Indiana on a hardship contract on August 10th, stepping into a desperate situation with the team missing all 3 of its primary point guards. Sims was thrown straight into action and, after a brief adjustment period, quickly found her rhythm. She averaged 10.4 points, 2.4 rebounds, and 3.8 assists per game, giving the Fever steady veteran leadership exactly when they needed it most. According to her hoop stats, she earned $21,860 for her late-season contributions. Sims will enter the 2026 season as an unrestricted free agent. The Fever didn't stop there. Petty became their second hardship signing, joining the team on August 19th to provide additional point guard depth and veteran presence. Petty filled a rotation role, averaging 5.1 points and 2.1 assists, and earned approximately $15,088 for her time with Indiana. Like the other emergency additions, she will also be an unrestricted free agent in 2026. The wave of injuries wasn't limited to the backcourt. After Sophie Cunningham's season-ending injury, the Fever signed Ariel Powers on August 23rd to strengthen their wing rotation. Powers quickly became a reliable contributor, averaging 7.4 points and 3.9 rebounds per game. She earned $13,249 for her late-season efforts and will also enter the offseason as an unrestricted free agent. Finally, there's the interesting case of Bree Hall. Drafted 20th overall by the Fever in 2025, Hall was released during training camp and remained unsigned for most of the season. She briefly joined the Golden State Valkyries on a hardship contract before Indiana brought her back on September 1st, signing her to another hardship deal for their final playoff push.
So, what does all this mean?
It means the Indiana Fever, a team that came just 1 overtime away from a WNBA Finals appearance, now face a massive offseason with only Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Michaela Timpson under contract. The front office must essentially rebuild an entire supporting cast. They can likely retain franchise star Kelsey Mitchell using the core tag and keep key role player Lexie Hull through restricted free agency, but every other contributor, from veteran starters to emergency signings who rescued their season, is free to walk. The looming new collective bargaining agreement complicates matters further, potentially reshaping the salary cap, contract rules, and roster flexibility. The future of the Indiana Fever will be determined not on the hardwood, but across the negotiating table. What do you think the Fever should do next? Which players must they keep, and who should they let test the market? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this in-depth look at Indiana's wild offseason, please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest WNBA news and analysis. Your support keeps this channel going. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.